bet it'll turn around. I'm gonna have to try something else. This is probably not the best time to try this. Come on. Why won't you work? Come on, work, darn you. I guess it's not really any better, but it'll have to do. It'll do, pig. That'll do. Yeah, I know I haven't been on in so long. People are like, not her. She's weird. She doesn't stick to her schedule. Yeah, I know. Oh well. It's all good. It's good. So, here we be. So I do have people. Facebook is lying to me. Yes, I have a pony as a passenger. Oh gosh. Yeah, so Facebook's lying to me. I can't tell if there's anybody on or not, so I'm just gonna start talking. Therefore I don't know if I'm gonna get your comments either. So I'm just gonna ramble until I have more comments if they come through Facebook. So yes, I have a pony as a passenger in the back seat. So last week I did my big southern trip with my friend Jay. You guys saw the live video with that. At least if you caught it, you did. This guy is on his last leg from Louisiana. We picked him up. Oh gosh. Okay, so we left Monday at 3 o'clock in the morning, which means we got to Florida at Tuesday morning, which means we picked him up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Only you crazy lady. Yeah, I know, right? So we picked him up at 4 o'clock in the morning in Louisiana. And he rode really good in the trailer, and so then he rode all the way up with us to Pennsylvania. We dropped off his riding buddy, which is the one that we had in the trailer when I was on the live with you guys. That was the worst traffic ridiculousness I've ever been in. I might bring him to your house. Right? Pony in the back seat. And we picked up 2 horses in Pennsylvania, which I keep meaning to sit down and do a post about, which I have not yet done, which I need to do. I have videos and pictures. You guys would be shocked at that, but that's a different story I'll talk about in a bit. And so because of those 2 and camping and my time limit and stuff, I asked the owners of this guy, because he's got to go another 5 hours into New York. I said, are you guys okay if he hangs out at my place for the weekend? I'm fairly certain that he's got an upper respiratory infection. I'd like to give him some days to settle a little bit before we get to traveling that last leg. And I've got to go camping with my family for the weekend. So if we could do that, that would be great. And the owners were really understandable. She says, yeah, that's fine. When do you think you'll bring him? I said, I'll be there on Monday. I just don't know what time yet. And so here we are. It's Monday. And hang on, buddy. This car all of a sudden decided now we're going to go really, really, really slow. It's just a crane. It's just a crane. Move out of the way. Thank you. Thank you. So, who's riding shotgun? Nah, nobody. It's just me. I dropped my buddy off on Thursday at his place. New York says, today's the day we're going to interrupt traffic. So I asked the woman, I said, would you be okay if it'd be cheaper for me on diesel if I don't have to haul the horse trailer with me? And she says, yeah, that's fine, as long as you think he'll be okay. Well, I mean, I can see him. He's doing well. He's no bigger than a dog. And it's climate controlled and not in a hot trailer. So, bonus. So I have a pony in the back seat. And we are going out to Salt Point, New York. So, here we are. There's a first for my truck. But honestly, you know, I think it's better for him with having his respiratory issues. And then you don't have the bouncing of the trailer and the hot and the wind and all that. We're in here. It's not as like windy. The dust isn't going to blow up his nose. You're not going to have the heat. He actually gets the air conditioning, which will kind of help the respiratory a touch. And I think in the long run, it'll be better for him. So he's got some third cutting hay back there and sawdust. There you go, Reenie. Exactly. Start a hauling gig for your minis in the minivan. It was a little interesting getting him into the back seat, I'll be honest. I had to use 2 lead ropes, my step bar for the running rails, for the side rails, and a little bit of extra oomph power to get him in. But he's in. He is not, Jane. No. Did you just go again? He stinks. No, I've sawdust down with a tarp. There's a tarp. I can't, you know, there's a tarp down. So here we are. We're hanging out. I do apologize for not being on. Again, life is kind of not making things easy for me, and that's just the way it goes when you're trying to do this stuff and survive and be online and so, you know, all that stuff. But it's okay. I keep hoping to find the schedule, and it's like I said to Jay on the trip, you know, I really need to find that schedule for my people. You know, it'd be a lot nicer for them that want to stay following and keep up with it all. I'm hoping I can get this back together. I had a little bit of a breakdown last night. I was going to be on this morning, honestly, because I was feeling better, and I fell asleep past my alarm. I was an hour late past my alarm this morning because I don't have the kids. The kids are still with my mother at the campground. And I was like, oh, I like sleep, you know. So it didn't happen. And so I kind of ran through chores this morning. I had to go haul an Amish horse for the guy. Hi, buddy. And now I'm finishing this up, which this is going to be a 5-hour drive. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I do know that there's some things that came up on my trip with my buddy that I kind of wanted to talk about down the road. And, you know, I'm hoping to be on every day this week. I'll be honest. I'm going to try to be on every day this week. I have full intentions to do. I have a bunch of things I want to work on with you guys. It was your body telling you needed more sleep is all. And take a breather. I know. Well, yeah, kind of, just a little bit. But there are things that we need to do, and there are things that we need to talk about. There are things I want to show you guys. I mean, I feel better. The trip was definitely a breather for me. It was a breath of fresh air. I was able to kind of bring myself back down into life, knowing full well of where things are going and what's going on. And I think, you know, having Jay's a really good friend. He's nothing more than a friend. I'm just putting that out there, okay? He's nothing more than just a friend. And he's just one of those friends that, like, you know he's going to be there no matter what. He's not good at anything other than just listening and hanging out with, and now driving. I mean, he wants to do another trip. And, you know, so we're going to be looking at, after I get a couple of things fixed on the truck, I'm going to be looking at doing probably another long haul, probably about August, probably not, or maybe into middle of September, depending on where the hauling gigs fall as well. And, you know, do another one with him, because I have the new trucking gig starting tomorrow, officially, like, driving for him. I told him I needed last week because I was driving to Florida, and then we got the camping, and so I officially start actually tomorrow. And I'm excited for that part because, you know, income. And it's flexible in my schedule, so that makes life a lot easier. Dropped a steak knife. It landed on the top of my foot. Oh, gosh. Sam, you're a klutz. You're a klutz. And I said to Jay, I was like, you know, I really need to figure out something. And so we kind of worked a little bit on some topics and stuff, and a little bit of scheduling to kind of stick with the channel and still be able to drive. He says, I'll bet your new boss will let you do that. And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure he will too. So I just got to come up with a phone thing that I can put in his truck to still, like, drive with you guys and kind of show you what it's like driving the inside of a rig for those of you that have not. He didn't seem to mind when I asked him about it, and so I'm just going to reinforce that tomorrow when I talk to him. But it's going to be like, no, it's totally hands-free. I don't touch anything other than start it, and I won't do that unless I'm, like, parked with the parking brakes on. Hi, Nancy. Kathy, you're just getting home from work. Well, that's cool. So yeah, I got stuff I want to show you guys out in the barn. I got some things I've been planning for the last, like, 8 months to do with you guys out in the barn. Haven't gotten to that yet either, but it will happen when it happens. So, you okay, buddy? Yeah? A little side-eye to the community? There it goes. See, there's our little buddy. You probably should use a picture with this little guy in the back as your advertisement for hauling. Right? Actually, I have a couple of pictures. I'm going to try and grab a couple more with them. So those jumping on late. Actually, I don't know what his name is. Wait, Albert. Albert! His name is Albert. That's right. He's a little mini, for those of you jumping on late, that we pulled out of Louisiana from a private home. And she reached out to a rescue out on the eastern side of New York that got him into a home right away. And she reached out to me and said, hey, I've got this pony, I want to see if we can try to get him north. And I said, I got this Florida trip coming up, and you know, here he is. So he stopped off at my place since Thursday, and now we're finishing the rest of his trek home. And it's just cheaper to put him in the back seat for me than hauling the horse trailer. And actually, I think it's better for the air conditioning for him. So yeah, just to chat about the trip for a little bit. You know, we left Monday at 3 o'clock in the morning from Buffalo. We made our way down into the Catskills and picked up Midnight and Bubbles. I don't know, Genevieve. I have a tarp down, though, in case he does anything. And the tarp kind of, like, you know, it's kind of ish flat on the bottom, as much as you can make a tarp flat. And then it curls up the sides, so that way it catches everything, so it won't leak into places of my truck. So if he does, he does. You just saw the backseat driver. I've got sawdust down back there for him too. I told my husband, I said, after this trip, I definitely need to get my truck cleaned. Because as I was putting the sawdust in, the dust kind of billowed a little bit. But, we'll see. We'll see. It's a 5-hour trip, so, we've got some miles to put behind us. But, so we made our way into Catskills. Let's see, we left at 3 o'clock in the morning. We didn't get there until 7:30 in the morning. So that was, what, 4.5 hours? Just from Buffalo to the Catskills. We picked up 2 horses there, and then we did the straight stretch run. We went down through New Jersey. We went down into a part of PA, across the bottom of PA, like Harrisburg and them. Dropped down into West Virginia. Made our way down into Virginia. And then halfway through Virginia, I let Jay take over, and then he drove Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina into Georgia. He actually is the perfect co-pilot for this stuff. He's perfect, and I really hope we get more trips behind us together, because it was great. It was the best trip I've had in a long time, other than my dad. It was the best trip I've had in a long time. Good thing he's desensitized to the tarp. Yeah, right? Exactly. If he wasn't, he is now. Oh, buddy. I'd warned him. I said, we get to Atlanta, I said, I'll take over the driving, because the 6 lanes across through Atlanta. But we got there at midnight when there is no traffic. So it worked out just fine. And then we got into a part of Georgia. Well, that southwestern corner. Ugh. I don't know if any of you guys live down in that southwestern corner of Georgia, but that place is weird. Weird. Did you see I finally got a little ride on my double? I did not, Melody. I'll have to go look. But that's awesome. That's awesome. I had an armadillo run in front of me. And then I saw a dead one. The deer down there are like half the size of the deer we have here up here in New York and PA. They'd be like minis compared to our elk and moose for sure. And then the fog through southwestern Georgia was awful. I was like, I can't see a thing. You could cut it with a knife. It was so thick. It was so bad. Yeah, you called about Woody. That guy. You know, it's crazy. I know, isn't he funny there, Linda? I'm waiting for him to whinny. He's done it twice. He likes to look out the window and kind of see what's going on at things. We passed by a great big truck, and he was like, "What is that?" So funny. You get to see things in here too, huh, buddy? Oh, good, Melody. I'm glad. I really am glad for you. Hey, Sue. And then we ran into an accident on 91, I think it is, that runs through that southwestern Georgia into Florida. We were literally 6 miles away from our destination. And we got stuck there for 45 minutes. Oh, southwestern Georgia is like hillbilly land. Okay. Go to the main, like, colonized area of Georgia. Ignore that southwestern corner, because they strange, man. They weird. Don't go there. Jay was like, you know, it'd really be nice if we could see the sights. I said, you can't do that with horses. He says, well, if you start hauling cars. I said, yeah, if I start hauling cars and stuff, I said, we could stop and look at things then at that point. We just can't do it with the animals, that's for sure. Taboo! just saw the scrolling, not staying, and thought that was a new dog. Nope, it's a horse. Nose is itchy. Nope, he's a horse. Horse, a horse, a horse, of course. But yeah, so we got stuck on that 91 for like 45 minutes. I had those horses in that trailer like, come on. You know, I offered them water. I gave them Butte just in case they were like getting a little hot and ornery and stuff on the trailer. I know it was muggy for us, and we were of course in an area with no cell service, so it was hard trying to tell the owner, hey, we're close, we just can't get there. I used my Life 360 app for the whole trip, and I sent the link out to all of the owners and all of the pickup spots going, okay, this is how you can track me and where I'm at. You know where I am at all times as long as I have cell service. And so everybody actually hopped on and used it so that they could figure out where I was and what point of time and where. And it kind of gave people the opportunity to like really keep a close eye on where their animals were, because I had one guy comment with the one that we picked up in Florida, like, I woke up in the morning and you were headed to Louisiana. He was like, I thought, well, this has got to be the worst robbery in the world because I know exactly where they are. And I was like, yeah, we had another horse to pick up. Like, I can't give you a cheap rate just because I can give you a cheap rate. Like, I gave you a cheap rate because we did not do a direct route. We had to go pick up another ride along to help kind of offset the cost of everything. So the Life 360 I think was really good for everybody. They can kind of keep track of where we were. And hey, Ellie. And so we got down into Florida, and the owner was like right there. He was like, I knew right where you were at. So and then we headed down. Oh my God, I love him. I thought I'd be doing that in my Tahoe. I'm actively looking. Nice. Thank goodness I have little hills by the barn, because I had to park the truck by a hill to kind of get him into the back seat of the truck. So I had to use my brain and a little bit of physics to be able to get him into the back seat a little bit. So I have to watch my battery because I can't plug my battery in with this phone holder. So so then we traveled down. What is that runs across 10? We ran 10 across the top of Florida. I know it's been a long time. Sam, how are you? Then dropped down 75. And then 75 south of Tampa. Now I did, like I said in the live before, glad to see you. Hello, Susan. It is a pony in the back seat. Yes, Erica. Yep. It's a mini in the back seat. I love these. What is in your back seat? So I was jumping on. This is Albert. He is a mini. I am taking him the rest of the way home. We picked him up in Louisiana, and he hung out at my place for the weekend while I had to do the camping with my family. And now we are finishing the rest of the trip home. So yeah. So yeah, we got into Tampa, and I mentioned on the last live about, you know, I saw kind of like the beginning of that accident that held us up on 75 for 4 hours. I saw the body of the motorcyclist. I saw the motorcycle. I saw the truck that he hit. Never a dull moment. No, there's never a dull moment in my world. It's all go, 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 go. And always something new and surprising, that's for sure. Home from work, had liposuction, and I'm suffering. Oh no. Oh, Samantha, that sucks. So I had hoped by the time we had passed by that on 75 going south that, you know, by like 3.5 hours later it'd be at least clear enough to be able to get through at least a couple of lanes. But Florida traffic control down there is awful. So we got stuck and held up by quite a bit of time. The Arabian that we had on that part of the trip was, yes, Anne. The Arabian that we had on that part of the trip was very, very good. She was a sweetheart and a saint. And the love Albert, he's a cutie, isn't he? He's adorable. And so then originally it was going to be midnight by the time we picked up Albert, and then it went to 1 o'clock, and then it jumped to 2 o'clock, and because of the accident it was 4 o'clock in the morning before we were able to get to Louisiana and pick him up. Louisiana wasn't bad. Google Maps took us down through a really weird route and everything to get there. And then by the time we picked him up, it was 2 turns on a road and on the highway we were. And Jay was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? I could have stayed on that road." And I was like, "Google Maps, I swear, some days you're a failure. You really are." So it's good to be. It'll be good when the swelling subsides and numbness goes away. Oh yeah, I bet. Emily, you have a mini in your back seat. I think you brought the wrong one. It kind of like a dog, I guess. Right? Good morning, by the way. Is this the Connecticut trip? No, Connecticut trip is not verified right now. I don't even know if I have that for sure. I started putting feelers out to try to drop the cost of the trip for a lady. And this guy's only going to Salt Point, New York. He's not going past New York. But, and I did not realize how long that panhandle part of Florida is, but wow, that took forever to get across. But the owners of Albert were really good. They weren't actually home. At least it was the night and not in the hot morning, hot in the sun. That's for sure. At least it was in the night. Because by the time the morning started to come up, like I said, his owners weren't actually home when we picked him up. And so she had left stuff everywhere where we needed to grab. It took a little bit finding him in her pasture, or in her yard, because it was like a really big driveway, but then there was a barn and a shed, and there was kind of like a house, and then another house, and then the dogs, and then way out in the back corner was the barn and pasture for him. But we got him on, and we started headed up through Tennessee, like, you know, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky. So by the time we hit those areas, like, it was still hot, but not as hot as Florida. Oh, Rain, thanks for the stars. Google Maps does fail you. It does. He is being good. He's chewing on his third cutting hay back there. So, but I mean, the ride was good. Otherwise, north. A couple of cars irritated me. We got a little backed up in Memphis, a little bit, not too bad. Jay fell asleep in the back seat for a couple hours because that back seat folds down. And then he finished the trip from Kentucky. Oh man, talking about it. Oh, you guys started star parties. Damn, thank you for the stars. Appreciates it. We stopped at our very first Buc-ee's in Kentucky. He's never been in one. We've always heard about them. Brett and I drove into a parking lot of one, but never actually went in. And this time I actually walked into a Buc-ee's for the first time, and I was like, This is like a cross between a 7-Eleven, which is out here we have 7-Eleven but gas stations, and a Cracker Barrel / like Wegmans. I don't know, but yeah, it was an interesting experience. It sounded like you and Jay had fun. We did. We definitely did. We got into Pennsylvania at like 2 o'clock in the morning for the Arabian drop-off on Wednesday. No, Thursday. It was Thursday morning. Yeah. Thursday morning, 2 o'clock, that we dropped off the Arabian. Start the new job yet. Tomorrow. I officially start the new trucks tomorrow. And, so the sad story and the gross story and the good story that all mixes together starts at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning on Thursday morning. On our way north, we knew we had to pick up 2 horses in Pennsylvania. And the owner had contacted me and said, hey, I need my horses out of this location. And I said, okay, no big deal. Where are they? Because that's actually right on our way north. Like literally hop off the highway here, pick them up, hop back on the highway, and go north. And it was perfect, actually, the way it ended up. Did you poop back there again? I can't tell. So she's like, the lady doesn't like that you're going to be there so early in the morning, and she's not getting up. I don't need her to get up. I can go grab the horses myself. That's not a big deal. She's like, I need them out of there. They're not being taken care of. And I said, okay, I'll do it. Let's go. And so I said to Jay, I said, these are kind of horses we're not used to seeing. At least you're not going to be used to seeing. These guys are going to be in pretty rough shape. And we got down into the location. And now, mind you, this is a dead-end road, dirt road, like wrong-turn type of horror movie-looking place. And I got the trailer turned around and headed the right way. Did not pull into their driveway as I was told not to. And don't take the orange bucket. They had no halters on. They had no lead ropes. They had no lead ropes on. And I had to go into the pasture and go catch them. Now these guys had no hay that I could see. I don't know where the water source was. But with as hot and as dry as it has been, it was muddy and disgusting. The one horse had a blanket on. In 80-degree weather, had a blanket on. So I grabbed the 2 horses. The one was very obviously limping. The other one was just like not there. Like you could see in some of these horses' eyes, like when they're there and when they're not there. And like this horse was not there. And I said, let's just get down to the trailer. We'll figure it out from there. And it took a little bit getting the one sore one to walk. But I got him down the driveway and I got him to the trailer. And I said, I gotta take the blanket off this one because she doesn't need to be wearing this. And I said, she stinks. Like, she stinks. And I took the blanket off, and on the left side, by her flank, where like that last rib is and the hip starts, and that little section right there, was a baseball-sized wound that was like full of maggots. It was moving because of the maggots on the inside of this wound. And I was like, what the is this? What is this? Like, this is disgusting. And I was like, they had a blanket on to hide that. Like, what is wrong with you people? Now, these were not Amish. This is a woman who claimed she was a vet tech in Pennsylvania. This is a woman who claimed that the vet had seen it and, oh, it's healing beautifully. What? I'm sorry. What? Her hair was red and coming off. Her skin was red and the hair was coming off from the seeping of the skin underneath of the wound with the blanket rubbing up against that. And I was like, this is not acceptable. This is not okay. Like, even as a hauler, and not even the owner, not a rescue, not anything, as a hauler, this is not okay. Like, what is wrong with you people? And I texted the owner and I sent her pictures. I sent her a video. I was like, she's skinny. She is hurt. This is disgusting. And the owner was like, well, I knew she had a wound. I said, this is not anything. I was like, there's maggots in it. She was like, there's maggots in it again? And I was like, again? What? And I sent her the stuff. She was like, that is not what I was told it looks like. She was like, this is not what I was told that it was anything like. And so the owner was like, she was like speechless. She didn't know what to say. And I said, all right, I'm going to give them pain meds, both of them. I'm going to give your mare antibiotics because I cannot honestly haul this horse and not have pain meds on board. I cannot honestly haul this horse knowing she's probably not had antibiotics in God knows how long, and have her back there with this suffering. So Albert was really good. He got off the trailer for us so I could put the mare on. I put the mare on in the very front of the trailer, so that way she had the partition to lean against if she needed to for stability. The gelding got right on behind her. Like, don't leave me behind. Even though I was told he doesn't load that well. And then Albert and him shared a hay bag along the trip. I had proof of vaccinations and everything ahead of time, so they're all healthy other than that wound and whatever lameness was going on. So I was like, what vet signs off that mare is okay to travel, but whatever. So Jay and I finished the trip, at least up to my place. We got back to my place at 7:15-ish Thursday morning. We dropped off Albert. Albert, I know, has a respiratory infection as well. Gave him some antibiotics, left him in a quarantine stall in my barn. Hey dude, you can drop off those fence panels at my barn, okay? You just gotta get off this exit, turn around, and go back, okay? I will take the fence panels. Ooh, and a brush hog? Yes, please. Drop off you can drop off all the fence gates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll take all of them. Oh, I'll take that too. And that. Oh, you can leave those panels. Yep. Yeah. He's not listening to me. You're going the wrong way. Must be a Tractor Supply truck. I'm not getting comments again, so it's Facebook probably. So yeah, we got to my place about 7:15 in the morning on Thursday. Dropped off Albert, offloaded the mare and the gelding. I took video of both of them separately in the daylight, sent it to the owner, and then I dosed. Actually, that's when I was able to dose them with everything. He was so good at your barn. It was nice to not have to soak or fight to give SMZs. I know, Albert, you can give it to him like right in your hand. He'll eat it like a treat, thankfully. So, I gave the horses the Butte and the SMZs when we got to my place, put them back on the trailer, sent the videos to the owner, and Dustin and I are doing the same thing. Nice. And went to the owner's new boarding barn, because she boards these two now up where she's at closer. And when I got there, I didn't even get the horses off the trailer. I got the one door open, and the woman's coming out of the barn crying and giving me a hug, and I was like, it's okay, you know, they're here now, like, you've got them here, they're closer to you, they're out of that woman's touch, you know, you can get them taken care of. Now you can see them every single day again. And she was like, this is not how I take care of my animals. I'm so upset, like, you know, I can't, she tells me what they needed, and I sent her money for it. And I said, you were just the bank. You were just her bank. Wanted him. I'm like, no. Yeah. Albert's so good. Did you poop again? You did. You stinker. Ugh. You stink in my truck. And so we got them offloaded, and I was like, this, and I said, I'm expecting them to stay. And she started saying, I ripped them into a new one. She says, and I told him how much his wife was a liar. And he was like, I just cleaned it yesterday. And I said, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for him to tell you that, because you know what? There are 3 different larval stages of maggots in this wound. That is a week's worth of maggots in this horse's abdomen. Like, I'd be surprised if she's not septic a little bit. Like, this is not appropriate. This is not appropriate. If there are maggots in a wound, you have not cleaned it just yesterday. Liar. Liar. So, got my nose itches. People are talking about me. We got him into the barn, and I said, you let me know if you need anything from me. I will be calling in cruelty reports, because I was actually there on the property. Jay will be calling in cruelty reports because he was there on the property. I have video. I have pictures. I will do whatever it needs, but I will definitely be calling in cruelty on the woman. I will be actually doing a post later and showing you guys the video if you'd like, but warning, it can be squeamish. It's not pretty. But the lady, and I told her, I said, you keep me updated on what happens. I need to know. I want to know what happens. Keep me progress, because I'm now invested in these horses. Like, I may just be the hauler, but I have an emotional investment on these guys now at this point in time, because, you know, I do rescue, and I've done the wound treatment, I've done the care, and I've done the transport, and I've done every aspect of it, from getting them out of that situation to this. Yeah, Ellie says it's pretty bad, because I sent Ellie the video. I was like, this is what I'm dealing with. And I said, I'm emotionally invested now. I want to know that, I want to see how these guys do. Like, I need to know. But oh God, that made me so mad. So mad. So then that was actually Rochester area we dropped off those horses at. I got Jay home, and then he was like, you staying for a nap? And I said, I really should, but I need to get back. And I got back down to my place. A couple of close calls on the way home, but I made it. And I promptly pulled my truck into the driveway, didn't even back the trailer around, put it in park, and fell asleep. I don't know how long I was out and what happened. Kristen, short, because I'll show a post later when I can get it typed up and posted. I got 2 horses out of a really bad situation in Pennsylvania that I'm going to call cruelty on the woman. And there was a baseball-sized hole wound in the side of the horse's abdomen that they just cleaned yesterday with 3 larval stages of maggots in it. So yeah. And Jim came out and woke me up out of the truck. He wanted me to go take a nap, but that wasn't happening. And so I started then packing for the camping trip that I was supposed to be leaving for Thursday night. And it's a good thing I did start packing, because my mother called me at one point and she was like, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm still home, I haven't left yet." And she's like, "I need you to come get us." Okay. My dad's truck blew a fuel line on the highway. Did they tell me how the wound happened? Well, they said to the owner that it was a bite wound. And I don't really know how a bite wound turns into a baseball-sized wound with a hole in the skin and maggots. Like, it was pretty deep. Like, you could get your finger down inside of it deep. So I don't really know. Yeah, sounds good, Kristen. But yeah, it was pretty bad. And I guess according to the owner, the people she had the horses at told her it happened in April, but they told the vet it happened in February. But they didn't call the vet out until April to take care of it. February to July. What? What? I don't get it. I just don't get it. So yeah. So my parents blew a fuel line on the highway and pulled off underneath the bridge. So I ran down. Jim and I finished packing the truck. Ran down. I was on Ithaca on Friday. I should have stopped to see you guys. Yeah, I was in Ithaca on Friday. So we ran down, and I hooked up to the camper. Finished getting my parents up to Ithaca. Backed it into the campsite. Got it all set up for my mother. We set up our tent in another site. My sister came in, put up her tent on their site, and we were good. Friday we took it easy. Oh, I need caffeine. Hey, Ellen, Hillary. Friday we went. I think we just kind of hung out. Friday we just kind of hung out, no big deal. And hung around the campsite, didn't do too much. We did fireworks along the park up there. Saturday we took the kids to the Museum of the Earth in Ithaca, which is kind of cool. It was just a couple hours thing, not a big museum, but kind of small, but really interesting. And Liam got to talk to a paleontologist. You got to kind of learn a little bit. Hey, Wanda! And we got to see the mastodon, the Hyde Park mastodon that was actually found in a backyard in the Bronx area of Long Island. There were some other really cool things, so the kids really had a good time with it. Liam more than anybody, because he loves his dinosaurs. And then went to a bookstore I've been wanting to stop in, and yeah, and then Jim and I ended up coming home, and we kind of took it easy a little bit yesterday. Yeah, because I knew that I was going to be on the road with this guy today. So here we are, back on the road again, finishing getting this guy home. And then tomorrow I start my new trucking gigs, driving the big rig, and going to be hauling round bales tomorrow. So yeah, I'm excited. Things are finally progressing in that manner, which is what I've needed to do so I can get bills paid. The trip south was a moneymaker for me, definitely. But I can't do a lot of them because, like, I still need to make some money in between. I am not answering that. But I can't do a lot of them because it does screw up my sleep schedule. Oh, Wanda, thanks. You're awesome. Yeah! I love the faces. They're so cool. Where am I headed to? I'm headed to Salt Point, New York, with this guy. His name is Albert. He is out of Louisiana. And he hung out at my place for the weekend while we went camping. I had a long weekend. I'm trying to, at my sister's. I've got to groom my niece's horse with the guidance. That was cool. Nice. Seems like things are going better for you. A little bit. You know, like I was saying, I can't do a lot of these long trips because, one, it kills up my sleep schedule. Two, it kills up my scheduling a little bit. Because here I was on the road when I should have been home packing up everybody's boxes with their orders and stuff. And I have boxes packed. Like, I have Wendy's packed, but I forgot some things. So now I've got to reopen it and put some stuff in it that I forgot. I have some that are with labels that I have not gotten out the door. And I have a box that I need to get out the door. So, like, it's kind of screwing some of that stuff up. So I cannot do a lot of these long haul stuff because I've got stuff I've got to maintain at home as well. Where I'm hoping these driving gigs for the next 3 days will kind of allow me that time to put things at home back in order. And Liam's got soccer practice twice this week. They have county fair next week with their horses. So they've actually got to get to the fairgrounds on Tuesday before Liam's got to go to soccer practice on Tuesday. He's a good rider. I wonder if he was trained to ride so good. I don't think so. Hey, Megan. I think he's just being a good rider because he's got no other options. Huh, buddy? He's got no other options. What else are you going to do? See, this is crossing a bridge. He's so good. He's so good. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I'll be paying for mine on Friday. No worries about the delay. Don't worry about it at all, okay? Because there's a delay in getting your guys' stuff out from the massive sale I had 3 weeks ago. So, like, I've got a bunch of stuff packed. Some of the stuff got out before I left. Some didn't. Some got packed, but not out the door like I wanted it to. So, I'll be working on that. Probably not tonight, because I'm not going to be getting back home until, like, midnight tonight. But definitely tomorrow, I'll be working on it. After I drive truck, and after I get the horses to the fairgrounds, and after Liam gets done with soccer practice. And after chores. So tomorrow evening, I'll be getting this stuff out the door. And getting back to a normal-ish on getting that stuff out. So. But I like these long hauls because I enjoy getting out for a little bit. But starting the trucks tomorrow, probably not tomorrow, but probably Wednesday or Thursday, I'll be able to do a video in the truck, maybe. I will double check with Rich and make sure that it's okay with him before I do it. Obviously, I don't want to do anything and like him be upset with me about it. So I gotta find a phone thing that I can use and put in his truck and take in and out of his trucks to do that with. So sorry, it's horrible. I had to buy a battery for my car. Hey, that's totally understandable. Yeah, he is adorable, isn't he? You're cute, Albert. You're cute. We're gonna get ourselves some lunch. Alright, well, you got lunch. I don't have lunch. I gotta get myself some lunch. But there's a couple of things that happened over the weekend personally that I have to deal with that yeah, no, you're not getting answered either. I'm not answering you either. I don't have the money just yet because I gotta go to the bank tomorrow. There's some things that happened personally over the weekend that are hoping that I can resolve this week. So that's like a mental toll on me right now. But I think the trip otherwise was necessary because, like I said, my buddy Jay and I, we have those like in-depth conversations, like those really in-depth conversations where you're like, wow, that like changes the course of my like thought process type of deal, and those are the best. At least Albert's not a devil spawn, that's for sure. What was that comment? Is that a new Mini? Well, I picked him up in Louisiana on our long trip. Is he for adoption? No, I'm taking him to his home. Is the shipping cost still the same since he's officially a co-pilot? Actually, I'm losing money on this guy. These people got a deal on the shipping on this horse, okay? What it's costing me to get him here is what it should cost him, is what's costing them to get it from Louisiana to there. So if it was just this guy, I'd be so out of money, it's not even funny. It's a good thing that I made extra on this trip. So Jay seems great. He is. He is. So like I said, we had those like in-depth conversations of like, it changes your whole thought process along stuff, but it allows you to process things mentally that, that maybe you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. And it definitely helped him in a couple of aspects as well. So he had another life-changing event happen this weekend too, kind of because of ish. Either way, hugs to my buddy Jay because it's stupid. People are dumb. It's just dumb. But oh my gosh, my nose itch is so bad. But so yeah. Albert, we're going to hang out behind this truck because I want to get off this exit and grab myself some lunch so I can eat too. You enjoying your third cutting back there? Yeah? He's not answering me. The cost probably barely pays for the fuel to get him home. You'll get it back tenfold for doing a good deed. Well, and that's kind of where I'm at, The lady that had this guy down south said that she wanted to get him into a new home, but did not want him to be down south because his vet said that he had heaves. Had to do a double take. The Mini is adorable. I love that reaction today. Because he had heaves and he could not handle the weather down south, so he had to come north. So she found a horse rescue up here up north, which we're friends with and we work with. And when I got down there and I grabbed him in his pen because he was not easy to catch, like I told you last night, if not anything anyone else did, it was on the individual. I know. Hang on, buddy. Sorry. Get your name out there for tool hauling as well. It does. Absolutely does. And yes, Tina, I know. When I grabbed him in his pen because he wasn't easy to catch and I could hear his and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good. And I was holding him still. Alright, hang on, Susan. And I know somebody asked about help in the barn. Just a second. I put my hand on his trachea up here on his chest, and I could feel the gargling in there. And I was like, this isn't heaves. He said, this is an upper respiratory disorder. Ah, you did just poop! You little stinker! And I have a turning signal issue too. You cars need to stop coming. And I said, no, he's got an upper respiratory disorder. And I had my sister look at him. Dude, really? Now I gotta find a parking lot. Tinky, you're a Tinky. And oh God. Of course, it's right behind my seat. I had my sister listen to him. She's like, yeah, that's a respiratory infection. Not quite pneumonia, but that's respiratory infection. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. So, unfortunately, these people were not given the proper information on that part of it. But yeah. They're getting a cute mini. At least it's not dog poop. That's true. That's very true. Well, I'm gonna get up here to. I'm gonna grab Arby's for lunch, and get up here and scoop it out into the parking lot. See if he tries to kick me again. Hang on, Albert. Going around the corner. Good boy. Yeah, I did find help for the barn. There's a couple of kids that have messaged me about it. Well, we know he's not colicky, that's for sure. I had a couple of kids message me about it, so I have one starting tomorrow. Haven't talked to the other one yet. And then the gravel pit. Well, the gravel pit got interesting. Hang on. Love the shirt. My granddaughter has the same design I bought from Tractor Supply. It says hanging with my peeps. Oh, this one was Temu. It says treat all peeps with kindness. Hang on, Albert. I gotta get my obbies. I don't know where I'm gonna go. Oh, well, they don't have a good spot to... Okay. Well, we're gonna have to order first. If you guys want to hang out with me on this part of it, but... yeah, like I said, I'm gonna order my lunch here, and so we can get going on the road some more, but... the gravel pit is, he fired... The word is that he fired his lawyers and his secretary. They don't believe that his variances are going to pass, and I don't quite know where it's all going to go from there, but the next town meeting regarding the gravel pit is on not next week, but the week after, I believe, because there's so many people that attend the meetings, they had to move it to a different location, which means, Albert, hi buddy, which means moving it a week back than what it's normally scheduled. And so yeah, so, but alright, hey, so thanks for hanging out with me so far, you guys. I'll be on a little bit later, maybe, I don't know, we'll see how things go. Maybe I'll do kind of like a conversation road discussion thing on the way home. Wait until the RV sees your passengers, ask them if they have any carrots. Alright, well, let's order and see if they say anything. Let's do that. We'll order and see if they say anything. I'll open the back window a little bit. Very busy. When you get time, you go ahead and mail my last box. Gotcha. What are we getting, Albert?
I was not being sure. I said we bring it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Of course, she's facing the wrong direction. Oh yeah, Kristen, we could try that.
Thanks so much for ready. You can order whenever you're ready.
Yeah, can I have the number 1, a classic beef and cheddar?
Okay. Do you like that with curly or crinkle fries?
Curly?
Did you say curly?
Yes.
Okay. And what would you like to do?
Coke?
Coke? Okay. So that was a beef and cheddar classic, medium with curly fries and a Coke?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I get an order of the mozzarella sticks too, please? A 4?
Would you like a 4 or a 60?
4?
Alright, that's a beef and cheddar classic, medium with curly fries and a Coke and a 4-piece mozzarella stick.
That's it.
Alright, would you like any RV horse or ketchup?
No, I'm good.
Alright, that'll be $17.15. Go ahead.
Thanks. What is the smell, right? Am I doing sales again? Yeah, I will. I've been busy. I've been on the road and at the camping for the weekend, so probably next week. Open the back window. Let's see what they say. Definitely an interesting trip, that's for sure. Hang on, guys. What are you doing, Albert? What's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good. 17.50.
Shut up, Allie. We're not getting a mini.
Alright, $2.85.
Do you guys have any like those apple slices, like, or no?
We don't have the apple slices.
Okay.
We just have oatmeal. I mean, not oatmeal, but applesauce. We don't have the
Oh, okay.
apple slices.
All right. Thanks. Just no response. She's looked, no response.
Is that a horse in your car?
It is.
Okay.
So funny. It's a mini.
Oh, what's the horse you need?
His name's Albert.
Albert.
I'm taking him to his new home.
Oh, is it a mini horse?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a mini.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's cheaper than hauling the trailer.
Yeah, as long as you don't pull.
Oh, he already done that.
You did too, huh?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't generally see horses go through the top.
Well, I mean, that's why I opened the window to ask if you guys had any of the stuff to kind of explain why, you know.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, because I was like, the back end, I mean, I couldn't really see the tail, but I'm like, it kind of looks like a horse's, you know, like
Yep.
texture. But I'm like, You can't really see the stuff. You want to see the horse? There ain't no way. What? Oh! She just sits there?
He just stands there.
Aw. You're so cute. You're like a pony.
Yep.
Hi. I'm sorry. Are you waiting for your food?
No, I'm all good.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
You're
Have a
fine.
good day.
Thanks. Okay, now I attracted the entire restaurant and everybody. It's so funny. Oh, sorry, Albert. I didn't miss the curb. Sorry, Albert. Apparently, I can't miss any of the curbs right now. Okay, you're okay, buddy. It's okay. That drive-thru is not made for big trucks. Okay, the drive-thru is not made for big trucks. I had like everybody in the back end of the restaurant come over and look at the out the window at this time now. So yeah, it made everybody's day. And one guy's like, "That horse in your truck," and they're like, "Oh my God, he's so cute. Do you want to see the horse?" What? Yeah, okay. We did make a reaction. They're like, "It's not every day." I was like, "Yeah, no, it's just, yeah." Alright, yeah, so I'm hauling Albert in the back seat because, he's going to Salt Point, New York. I'm on my way there with him. I'm not using the trailer because it's cheaper to haul him this way than it is to hook up the horse trailer for this tiny little guy that fits in the back seat of my truck. And the owner is okay with it. I already asked her and confirmed with her that it is okay with her that I hauled him in the back seat of my truck. And I sent her a picture and she was like, "Oh my God, he's so cute." So that's why I'm hauling Albert in the back seat. Somebody else had a question. I am still going to be doing sales, just haven't gotten to it. Buy me a beef and cheddar. Good luck, Tina. You'll be cold by the time. I know you keep trying to come for a visit. Yep. Come on. Come on. There we go. I'm still waiting to get to my appointment, so it might be a little later than 2 at 1. I don't care. Oh, wait. Yeah, he does keep giving me a side eye. I don't think you're going to want one of these fries. These are a little hot, buddy. When I was 13, I rode my horse to the McDonald's drive-up window. Nice. Do you want one? He's looking at me like, I don't really know if I want that. No, he don't want it. So. Why does it just smell of poop? Right? I know, my truck's gonna stink. Air spritz. I've got a tarp down. He's standing on a tarp. Hang on, buddy. Here's the entrance ramp for the highway. Always an interesting day in my world. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in my world. Good job, buddy. See, that wasn't so bad. Can't see the messages but follow the ride. Exactly. It's all good, Helen. Yeah, so I've got a tarp down. He's standing on a tarp. There's some sawdust down to kind of collect what we can collect on that. He's got third cutting hay in front of him. He's not interested in a french fry. And we didn't like the bouncy curb, which neither did I. I'm sorry, buddy. But it should be smooth sailing from here out. I actually shouldn't need to stop at this point, actually. So, I'm going to eat my lunch before it gets cold with you guys, and maybe I'll hop on later and do something that is non-horse related discussion. I've had one swirling around in my brain for a little bit, that kind of like I want to mention and talk about a little bit. Nothing bad. Just hey, this is in my brain. I want to chit chat. But yeah, that's the other reason why I agreed that he should be in the truck, because then I can keep an eye on him. I can see what he's doing, and he has the AC controlled air, so he's not going to be hot. The wind's not going to be blowing the dust and sawdust in his face. And he can actually feel cool rather than like that 80-degree weather that's outside, which then being in a horse trailer turns into like a 90-degree, and then you have the wind blowing in, and it's just it's better for him in the long run this way. So alright, hey, cool. About 56 years ago, we took out the back seat of my little Buick and brought home my 3-day-old cow. Nothing wrong with that. I've hauled a sheep across from Ohio in the back of my Subaru. So, been there, done that. We took a dog crate, we threw it in the back of the Subaru out back, and went to the farm. We bought the sheep, threw it in the dog crate, and away to New York we went. So yeah, this is not my first time of hauling livestock or something other than a companion animal in the back of my vehicle. This is this is the second time I've hauled a Mini in the back of my vehicle. When I had my Suburban, before the truck, we had bought a Mini for the twins. And at that point in time, we actually did haul the horse trailer all the way down there to pick the horse up, to bring it home and everything. We had the Mini for a month before she got like super sick. And turns out, we took her to Genesee Valley Equine. We opened the back hatch of that Suburban, put her in the back behind the third seat, and closed that hatch. I sat in that back seat with her the entire ride while my husband drove. We took her to Genesee Valley Equine, and they did an ultrasound. Turned out she had strangulating lipomas that were killing off her intestines, and the best thing we could do for her was put her to sleep. So unfortunately we had to bring home Peaches in sadness. But yeah, so this is third time that I brought something along in the back seat of my truck. Well, have an amazing day, everyone. You can be an extra, right? I had a ghost that loved car rides, never went out in the vehicle. Nice. So, alright, well, I'm going to eat my lunch. I'm not going to do that in front of you guys. I'll grab you guys on the trip home, and probably put up a post later about the other two that I did, that I hauled north, and I'm going to get Albert home. So, have a good one, you guys, and I'll catch up with a bunch of you later, and I hope you all had a wonderful 4th. I really do.